JT,
No.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Al. Oh, there's something outside. One no on that one. Okay. Page 19.
All right, county health and issues. All right. Ambulance services, over to page 20. Okay, page 21, sheriff. Gary. Any concerns or comments? Okay. 23, okay, got it, all right, next setting up. 24, circuit court. Moving on to 25. Circuit court. 26, juvenile court. 27. Turn. Public defender.
On this public defender, we have a clerk serve, all the clerks talk on it, email back and forth. And there was some that was asking about this public defender's travel money. You may not care, probably not, but they were saying the state is supposed to pay for their travel. I don't know if that's true or not, but if we wouldn't have to pay for it, we should.
Is that something you have to pay?
Yes.
Yes. That's something we need to look into, if they pay for it.
I didn't even know what they got that. Never heard that.
You gonna check on that then? If,
Coroner. 29.
So are we doing anything with the coroner's office right now?
No,
Okay, we'll wait to see what the
we're
election
waiting, I'm still waiting on getting some bids on the sheet rock inside there, still working, trying to get something there. I expect by the end of this year, before the next term, we'll have something there, if need be, okay? Depends on what happens in November, or actually what happens in March.
in March, yeah.
Well, I said it'd be better, I was just going to make it one anyway.
We'll see about that, you know,
Yeah, I urge it.
okay? Okay, OEM.
You want me to address that now, or wait till we get to the page where we have, Jeremy on it as well?
Oh, just a minute, let's look at this. Okay.
I thought we already had an ID machine.
No, we don't, it's broke, we need a new one. Okay, so Office of Emergency Management, this year's budget for OEM is $45,835. Next year's budget for OEM is $38,838, $6,996 cut in the OEM office.
That'll be from health insurance, see, they don't have health insurance. That's the difference, right?
No, more than that. It's, you know, Jeremy was making, $16, yeah, and he's making 11, that's where it's at.
Straight across the board, health insurance, what's up,
Same.
It's roughly 7, yeah. We had I think it was a 4.5% increase, something like that. It was nominal.
So Mike's not carrying the health insurance?
No, he doesn't need it, no.
Well, you got 3,500 here.
Yeah, but he doesn't need it.
She can take that off when she
Take that off, that's another, so it'll be, close to $10,000 less in that way.
Oh, I don't know, he may, did you sign up for health insurance?
He doesn't need it. He doesn't.
Well, for most of us, I question Mike's ability to do the job very well. Obviously, he does it, man, he's got education background, I guess, in the military and stuff, and he's got that sort of thing. It's just that we were under the impression that Jeremy was gonna take that thing over. Like I said, it wasn't our idea, it was your idea, his idea to take that thing over. And we were consulted that that change was gonna take place, if that slot was gonna be refilled here in just a few months after we did that. That's not consistent.
Agreed.
Okay.
Well, and how does OEM and 911 overlap? Do they overlap?
Well, they really don't. No, they're separate.
But you said when they got their raises, you bumped them up, that they were gonna be able to do each other's job, that's why they
It was
got
gonna
that
help,
way to start.
that's correct, that's correct, and they have been, okay? But as far as the line items where they're paid, the OEM can't be paid out 911 money, 911 can't be paid out OEM money, okay? That's where it's separate, but they are helping, matter of fact, Mike was doing signs, helping, Angel put signage up and everything, okay? So there is some support one another, okay? And so,
So what does 911 do besides put up road signs?
addressing, all the new addresses, changing addresses, and all of that, plus training with the dispatch and 911 operators at the sheriff's department.
Another change of address, once you establish an address, it never changes.
That is correct, but there is also some edits that have to take place, okay, on occasion, that she does.
So how many new
Carrie
addresses
has
a week
that.
is there?
That's a good question. Matter of fact, I spot check and I call her and, she tells me where she's at. I said, what are you doing? And she tells me, I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna go with you, okay? So on occasion, I've been with her because I wanna know what does it entail, addressing, how simple is it or hard is it, how complex is it, what's the process, okay? And I've done that with her. Matter of fact, last time, she said she's on Republican Road there. I said, where you going? She said, well, I'm going through some addresses, going through, Mammoth Springs. I go with you. Well, what I didn't know was where the addresses was. We did 3 addresses on 9 Mile Ridge. It was actually 9 Mile Ridge. And so I got to see, some new addresses and new people coming in on 9 Mile Ridge, okay? It's kind of an eye-opening experience. But to answer your question, I don't know, but we're the 18th fastest growing county in the state, okay? So we have a lot of people moving in, a lot of people building houses and everything, and that's what, they need addresses. That Posey Country Estates is putting new houses in and everything, got to do addressing on that.
Carrie had something.
Well, I'm just saying addresses, she does have to change some, she's doing a lot of cleanup, I will have to say that. And she comes in an office and we work together a lot on where things are at, and she's had to do some cleanup of.
Are you saying
hard to get a
that-
hold of,
are you
because
saying
we have
that they-
several people that come in or call that they cannot get a hold to get a new address.
Okay,
So maybe
So
you
again,
can do better on that
if-
aspect.
yes, what we have to do together, you and I and everybody in here, have to do better communication, okay? As soon as you bring those things up, bring them up to me, okay? Now Michelle's always been pretty good at telling me about, some cleanup, this needs to happen. You hadn't, come to me lately that the cleaning has been substandard or whatever, but you're usually spot on with keeping up with that. If there's a problem, you tell me, right? And so, when we have problems with Angel not being able to get a hold of
We'll
these
get you
complaints.
the number.
Yes, absolutely, okay?
Put this on your list, I need to do road sign.
Bottom line is, we all need to work together.
Yes, no, we all need to work together and communicate instead of these, I got your moments, right? And, so,
So 911 is in non-county general, right?
It's funded by a tax on cell phones,
Okay.
basically.
And how many people are in that office?
one,
Just one?
yes.
And I believe
But she
that-
pays too, she pays another full-time and a part-time that works in the jail.
I think there's 3 jailers that are on her payroll.
Two
Two plus her, that'd be 3.
One less, not.
Two and a half.
All right.
But the addressing is as simple as driving, you set a meter, you drive from point A to point B, and you record that, and that's the address. I didn't get that. It's not like it's a huge tax sort of thing, but you cannot assign the 911 coordinator, I don't think, any other county responsibility.
That's true.
It's paid separately,
Yes.
separate funds.
Is that just the coordinator, or, you say there are 2.5 people, so it's like
Well-
$117,000 in the salary line.
Well, she or the county judge can designate part of that money to go for something that is involved in 911, and in this case, it's a 911 dispatch. And, that's permissible to do that, and I don't know whether it's 3 or whether it's 2.5, but,
Well, it's Linda, it's Angel getting paid out of it, Linda Hutchins getting paid out of it, and a part-time position.
There was another one, and Terry went to the law enforcement, and then Dorinda come and was paid out of 911, and then Dorinda quit, they never did take anybody else and put in that.
And I have no idea who changed that or how that got changed, because that was not the way it was originally. Terry was, but that was never brought to my attention, so I guess now Linda and
Selena,
Selena are paid to the 911 line item.
And those are dispatchers that.
They dispatch, they only dispatch, yeah, they take 911 calls and do dispatch within the jail.
Okay. And that comes from a different.
it comes from 911,
this was taxing yourself.
Okay. So,
we're not
we
really
can't
doing
really
that.
do anything with that.
But you really can, I don't think, and of course, now that fund has diminished some, I don't know what happened to it, but anyway.
Was the landlines the reason it's diminished? Because used to, we'd have a tax on landlines, and for the last 8 years, it's just dropped. But the thing about, like, I've got Verizon, I've got 911 tags, but if you go to Walmart, buy a straight talk, there's no 911 tags, and that's where we're losing our money. A lot of people has the straight talks, which we get no 911 money off of that.
I'm a perfect example, my landline never works, so when they come through with their deal, I got their phone.
Right.
I mean, I'm a perfect example, when my landline disappeared,
Right.
nobody ever served it. Well, I quit. But that's what's happened, you're right.
We're actually on going out, so before we leave that, is everybody comfortable with funding this position? I kinda thought we were having Jeremy do a dual role, but, I've made so many motions, I'll leave that up to you guys, what y'all think.
Is Jeremy still doing the FEMA? He's still,
He's still doing FEMA, there's still papers that's coming through today.
that we're signing off on, agreeing to, this is what they was gonna pay, this is what we're agreeing to, and all that. We've not made it through all the disaster inventory yet. Some stuff has went back, so it's slowed down. I'm waiting on some of that stuff, you know, you keep getting told checks in the mail, I keep waiting for Barry to give me some good news that it's hit the account. Because, there's some of that stuff like the fix oil and stuff, I'm needing that money.
Soon as we get it, can you be the first one to know?
I'll be the second one. though.
You'll be the second one to know.
So do we have two guys that have the same job or?
No, but the thing is, you know, being the road foreman takes so much, and then, you know, with working with FEMA and all of that, okay, it became necessary for me to hire an OEM. And so, I may have put the cart before the horse, okay? And that's what it is, but in the long run, we need help from Jeremy, okay? And $11 an hour, I think is not unreasonable.
Well, is he doing that job or is he running for sheriff? That's everybody's wanting to know that answer.
Okay, he's doing that job, okay, and on the weekends, he's running for sheriff. I mean, and amongst all the other stuff. So,
So can the OEM 911 be halftime?
no, 911 cannot be halftime. And you know, and again, with the OEM being $10,000 less than it was this year for next year, I honestly don't see what the issue is.
Well, how could it be, I mean, we haven't been paying the 911 coordinator since he took over as foreman. have we?
No, OEM, not 911. We've been, 911, you're talking about OEM.
I misspoke. Since he took over as road foreman, we've not been paying the 911 coordinator because he took that over.
OEM, you mean.
OEM.
We haven't been paying OEM.
Right, so how could it have been more last year? I don't understand that.
Okay,
Well, he's
because
talking
it
about
was
the-
programmed because he wasn't the road foreman at the beginning of the year. He was OEM, and this OEM budget was the original OEM budget. Then he went to the road department. We've been paying for the road department. That left, you know, a surplus there for OEM. And that's why we don't need that much next year for the OEM.
Is it a question if, Jeremy can do the road foreman and the OEM? Is that,
I believe that as the road foreman, he's supervising all the road department personnel, and he's also overseeing the OEM office, okay? He's overseeing that, okay, getting covered. And you know, Mike is basically Jeremy's assistant for all practical purposes, okay, in the OEM.
When you were at Sharp County, did you do both positions?
It was paid from both spots. I had 2 checks from Sharp County.
That's against the law.
It's up Sharp County, and Mark Whitmore with it because that was who they went through to get it approved. That's how it worked, that's what they done. It's a percentage salary.
Well, that's basically what it is here too, but were you doing both of those jobs? That's my question.
Yes.
Okay.
But I also had assistants for those jobs.
Yeah, but don't you have Kelsey?
Now, the other part of that is in order to get the MPG funding from the state, you've got to have certifications that he's got.
you have those same certifications? Jeremy, do you have those certifications?
Yes, sir. And one thing too, you know, if we were in a deficit situation, I could understand, the want or need to cut, okay? But with the situation that we have here, we can do all the things we wanna do. The only problem is, I hired an OEM. That's a problem, okay, to y'all. Not a problem to me, but, you know, as long as I live within that budget that y'all provide those resources, I don't think the decisions I make on personnel ought to be that big of a problem, okay? Because I see the needs on the ground, okay? And, you know, everybody wants roads and bridges and this and that, and, you know, with disaster strikes, you know, people need the OEM. It's kinda like the military. During peacetime, people don't think you need the military. When wartime, then everybody supports the military. You know, it's kinda the same way with OEM. When there's no disaster, you got good weather, nobody thinks about the OEM. Then we get a 100-year flood, you know? And then, oh my gosh, we need FEMA, we need help, you know? We need somebody to spearhead that. But other than that, when the weather's fine, there's no disaster, we don't need OEM.
Page 31, what are you gonna do? Or not do?
Well, I just think we should just continue on and, go forward with the unit's budget.
I think we ought to make a motion to let Jeremy finish the year and let him keep doing the OEM.
And what about the road for him?
You mean let the new guy finish the year and go back to him doing both?
Yeah, let him do both. I mean, he's been doing it for a year, let him keep doing it for another year.
Okay.
Why waste
We're not.
$30,000?
Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, Jeremy's making 42.5, doing both, okay? You know, with his experience, education, and everything, you know, the chief deputy, I think, is making 47, okay? And I think that we're getting our money's worth from Jeremy, okay? And I think that, to let somebody else help with the OEM, I think it's appropriate, okay? I think that being the road foreman in itself is a monumental task, okay?
You started, though, you did a very good job of selling that, and we agreed with it.
Yes, yeah.
For that amount of money.
All this is on you.
Yeah, that's right, all this all on me, but the thing is, situations change, okay? Situations change, so, you know, we gotta be flexible as far as what makes most sense and most efficient thing, and everybody, you know, you just can't have it both ways, all right? And I underestimated the amount of energies that this disaster relief is gonna take, okay? And so, you know,
Is that the most?
Shouldn't it be over with pretty much?
no, paperwork's not over, okay? In fact, data is still being inputted, and then, guess what, when these roads get fixed, yeah, it's okay to fix the road, well, don't work like that. You gotta have documentation, you gotta keep up with hours, you gotta have pictures and all that, we got the before pictures all submitted, then we gotta do the work, okay, and that is, you know, ongoing, okay? You do the work, we get more reimbursements, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? But it's not just, well, the disaster's over, what's the big deal? Why can't we just get the money? It doesn't work that way. You know, there's a lot of details that have to be done, you know? And then, you know, let's talk about Kelsey, you know? she is, you know, she does everything.
Yeah.
She does a good job.
And I think she does it very well,
Yeah.
all right?
And they've all got raises too, and, I mean,
Yeah.
they're doing what they're supposed to,
Yes.
but I don't see why we need,
I'd like to hear from
Think this
Jerry
guy.
and see if, I mean, if it's more than you can handle, or is it more, you need help, is it more than you can handle, or is it?
Let me back up, and let me kind of reiterate, we go back to short.
What's that for you?
Okay. Back up, I'll touch on now, one about being Sharp County and all that. I did not have all the services that I've got here at Fulton County. I didn't have fire services, we had a separate fire service coordinator. At one point, I didn't have floodplain management, not that we worry about that in Fulton County, cause that's a whole different ball of wax. But we got that way. I always had a deputy position that was there, because if something was to happen to me, somebody needs to be able to carry on. That's just like, me and Scott was talking about the other day, whenever I was in a disaster, those first 2 days, I was up probably about 18 to 20 hours a day. It makes you get a little goofy at the end of the day. You're trying to make sure that everybody in the county is okay. You should, of anybody, you know what it's like to be in a situation where you've got things going on and you're trying to protect the whole county. It gets a little bit daunting at times, but I'm used to doing stuff the best I can. It gets to the point where, yes, I need some relief. I'm glad I've got Kelsey. Mike stepping up has kind of been a little bit of a relief on that part of it, of getting some of these other things that I can't have the time during the day to take care of. That's kind of where we're at on that.
I'd say that's what we need to hear, we need to know what's going on. You know,
But whenever we don't have any time, this is where we're start adding people in. This is where we start having these discussions.
yeah.
But this is where that's what, we wanna know that's where we're at.
The Personnel Policy Committee said we need a real road foreman. Can you make sure he does OEM so that you can do road foreman?
Yes, sir, we can definitely make that transition.
And somebody needs to be supervising everything out in the road department.
I agree with that. That was stuff that I've done before. This is what we stepped into to take it up because we figured we needed to spend extra money and fluff the budget somewhere else. This was what it was. We still had to have an OEM. And so I agreed to continue on and fill that in the meantime. It's hard to find somebody that's got the qualifications to still carry on and keep the money coming in. Been a whole lot different deal if it was stuck smack dab in the middle of a disaster when things transitioned and I went to the road department. This is what we had, this is what we've done. Always get told, do the best you can with what you got to work with. That's what you guys have got to do. You've done the best you can with what you've got to work with. And I'll try to do the same.
Well, we gave all these raises, and I just wanna make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, you're supposed to do both jobs. That was a deal.
No, did the
I know, that's what.
And I am gonna brag on you when you get my rig fixed, but I'm not.
I would have to tell them whenever mine gets there, we'll get a whole lot closer.
You need to holler at payment
The
for
bridge
that.
is in the main.
Jack's gonna make it.
Well, you need to holler at state, I think. We ain't got it.
We need some friends at DFA and see if they can hurry it come up off that run.
It'd be nice.
So bottom line, you need help.
Yeah.
Because if I was to drop dead tomorrow or tonight, where we gonna be at?
Well, hire somebody. No,
That's fine, it's up to y'all.
I mean, we need to know if it's too much for one guy to do, and we can give the other guy to do it.
Michael was telling Scott, I don't think y'all get to see a lot of the hours that get done after the close of business for one. I mean, it's not uncommon to be up 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night, trying to make sure this other stuff gets done.
That's why we're asking you.
And I'm not as young as I used to be.
Part of it.
Moving on.
Thank you. Thank you.
What page are we-
Thank you, Jerry.
what page are we on?
33.
31,
31.
office of emergency. Going on with it.
Further discussion, we'll move on.
33, being confirmed. Were you good with that, Hank?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, veteran service, C. And, got on here, so veteran spec, the program's $450 a year, okay? Got them figured $1,550 for a new computer system. That one, is antiquated, so that's basically the only difference. We'll move on here. And last is extension office. All right, I think no questions there. I think we're okay with this one, right? With, county general?
With the exception of what they're taking out.
Yes. Let's just go through that.
County buildings, the janitors are gonna be a one full-time position to clean all the buildings with the exception of health department. And maintenance is going to one full-time maintenance. Kara's gonna check on the travel for the public defender, that's what I thought, is that what everybody else remembers? And then you're gonna figure the raises at 30%.
Now, who's gonna be the groundskeeper? What do we say on the groundskeeper?
It is a groundskeeping position. You're just a one full-time maintenance person.
So
Janitor
one
can help pick up
full-time-
the trash.
okay, so who's gonna mow the sports
janitor.
complex?
The janitor.
The janitor?
I'm
The
sorry,
maintenance,
maintenance.
The maintenance guy. Well, I gotta
Well,
tell
it
you,
always was,
that
sir.
one, yeah, and that caused a problem, okay? Because that, especially in the summertime, that dang thing takes, and I underestimated how long it took to mow that cotton picker thing, okay?
Well, some
It
people
takes,
think here's a really good idea. So I think the governor has implemented a, community service program for the high schools now. They have to
yeah, as a matter
volunteer.
of fact, I'm gonna bring that up with the fairgrounds. Fairgrounds can use those high
That's
school
what-
students, that's a
So
great
they can use
source
the
for
high
that.
school students, and they may have to sign a waiver to get on the lawnmower, you know, so we don't get sued, I don't know. But we might could have the high school students that are need community service hours to mow that out there.
Yeah, but is it gonna be consistent?
No, we have a trustee.
Let the whole association take care of it.
Why should the county be out to have it done? Don't know by owners or madness.
Sure. Hey, did we pass the road department? I had one last
No,
thing.
we're not passing, we're not
Okay,
going to.
I didn't think so, but I wanna make sure.
You want
I got one last thing of concern, and I'll shut up.
Okay, let's move on.
How you lose that money is gone. So thank goodness that ARPA money is
Yeah.
gone. Been a blessing to us.
All right, page 35, move on, page 36. because we were paying it out of, parts and repairs. And so that's causing us a problem. The grader blade's costing about $40,000, okay? And that's the reason for the line item for itself, for the grader blades.
So what, did it came out of before?
Parts and repairs. Okay, any other things here?
We're still at 170 on the parks and repairs,
Yeah,
and we started a new line, so we're
yeah,
running it all over, huh?
yeah. Hopefully not, but it's programmed in there just in case.
And the truck back there with.
Yeah, you talking about on the bottom there?
Yeah, it says Max.
Yeah, that, okay. So we need a new dump truck. Our Peterbilt is just about petered out, okay? It's been rebuilt a time or two, it's got well over 1 million miles on it. And so that is for a lease for a new dump truck. Okay? And that is with, Mac lease, and I think I can get a better interest rate, either with, Harvest or Bank Sable on that lease.
Is that one, pay it per year or something like that?
That's yearly, okay, but it'll be once a month. You know, monthly payments.
How much is
The truck itself is $235,000.
Is it a?
Can we get a used one?
I'm sorry?
Can we get a used one?
Well, the used one we haven't had cash, so we'll, you know, to get a good used one, you know, $120,000, $150,000. You know, that's the thing, without the warranty, without the service, you know, and
Just don't buy there,
right, I run that with those two Sterling.
This is right.
Right, so this is,
So the payment would be around 5,000.
yeah, like about that.
If I figured it right. I told him 20 and
Yeah, and this right here is on the high side.
how many do we have now?
We have 6.
Counting video.
Yeah, that's kind of good.
Are you gonna get any new graders this next year?
No. No, but we've got one of the old graders, we replaced a, transmission on one of them, and,
Still got 8?
we've got, yes, yeah. And we've got, one other, transmission needs to be replaced for another one. No, we got 9, but the one, we had 10 graders, one of them blew the rod in, left us down to 9.
Oh, and I thought we had.
2 had transmission, took the transmission out of the
So we
one.
got 8 working.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
but we got a transition on the other one, we'll be back to 9. Wait,
So the new truck one is costing how
I'm
much?
sorry,
About 5,000.
5 years.
Can I ask another question?
Yes, sir.
Probably not, I'm talking about one, I guess, but one every time, right?
Home.
In all the years of Fulton County, DOT has never bothered Fulton County.
The DOT will leave the county trucks alone.
Do what?
The DOT will leave a county truck alone.
I'm sorry.
A DOT will leave a county truck alone.
That's what I'm saying, so why are we buying five?
Yeah.
They don't need to get all that much in.
What do you recommend?
I recommend Twin Screws, just like you got with all the others, except those last two, you know. You bought the last two to try,
Yeah,
it's more upkeep.
yeah, but they haul
Yeah, but it's harder on the county roads when you're hauling.
them. Well, with all the dump trucks that everybody else has running, I don't think our few dump trucks running heavy is
In the
gonna.
winter time, when you bring something out from my place, I bring a light one out there, I don't
Well,
know.
then, in that case, we'll load the triaxle light. But, you know, when we need the material,
I followed a few county trucks, and I don't think they overload them anyway, I'm pretty sure we can get by with twin screws, which, to me, is a lot less expensive.
well, that's true, and other people say that you gotta go with the, you know, triaxles and, you know,
I'm thinking out of line, but I used to have dump trucks, I'm just telling you, they're a lot less expensive.
yeah,
To maintain too,
right, but
that's just my 2 cents.
I got you. You know, I've been told, and, you know, Eric Smith and other, I ask them these questions, you know, and they'll say, man, you gotta go with the triaxles, okay? And so that's the reason for that.
If you follow for her, that'd be good.
Okay. All right, anybody got any other questions on that?
Not there,
I
but
will do cost.
hang on, not the equipment stuff, but I'm still concerned about adding another road department employee going from 21 to 22. Anybody else concerned about that, or is that just me?
Basically, what it is, we already have a part-time position. We already have 22, okay? But what I wanna do is asking for to move the part-time into a full-time position. Okay, that's it. Now,
Well, you're not giving anybody a bonus in part-time. Don't you pay a ticket?
no, there's not, because there's nobody there. We got an open, it's an open spot. Okay? Yeah, I just wanna, you know, change it from a part-time to full-time. And, you know, we look at, the clerk's office, you've added positions in the last 3 years. Okay? The assessor has moved a part-time to a full-time in the last 3 years. The collector has added a position. We've added no positions. I've added no positions on the road department. And I'm just asking to bump one part-time to a full-time.
I didn't get anybody to fill my position though.
And mine's coming out of automation funds, so the county's.
Yeah, but even so, yeah, in moving this one from a part-time to full-time is not really gonna have much of an effect, considering the fact that we got $110,000 the carryover from our personnel budget, you know, moving forward. And our personnel budget next year is less than it is this year. So it's not really a money thing.
48,000 thing. Anyway, it concerns me, if nobody else is worried about it, then I guess we move on, but I would make a motion not to fill that.
What's that?
What do you want them to do?
I want them to be a grader operator and a backhoe operator, equipment operator, and whatever the case may be. But, you know, and I put an emphasis in the road department. I don't need one-trick ponies. I need people to cross-train and do other jobs. I need everybody, you know, and I made an incentive to people who want to be a grader operator. Being a grader operator is the most critical job in the department, okay? So even so, I made where the grader operators have trip trucks taken home, okay? Well, you know, I opened it up to everybody, that's a big mistake, okay? Because some people say, I don't, you know, I wanna do, work the excavator. I said, well, you know, I need you on the grader, Well, I don't wanna do that. Well, tell me what they wanna do. Now, where can you work to tell people what you wanna do, right? Usually the employer tells you, hey, this is what I need you to do. If you don't do it, you gotta go, okay? So I took the trip trucks away from non-grader operators, okay? And that was some growing pains here. We got all upset over that, okay? But I needed people, more people want to be a grader operator. Not just want to be a grader operator, but want to be a good grader operator, okay? And so long story short, you know, I encourage people to want to learn all the different pieces of equipment, because if one person goes down, now I didn't say I only need to get rid of my old people, okay?
That's
But I
exactly
said,
what you
no, I
said.
didn't. Now what I said was, I need this extra position because I got older people here and they have more physical problems, okay? They're, you know, have to go to doctor's appointments and such, right?
That's exactly, you did say that, sir, then you also
No,
said they
sir,
gotta
I
go.
don't, I didn't say that.
You said they gotta go.
No, I didn't.
It's the same conversation when
No,
you said
they-
you didn't wanna
they
give her
were
money for the fair
retiring,
because of
retiring,
Elliot.
Okay, so let's go. You understand what I'm saying? As far as why I need this full-time position.
So do we have a person for every grader, every dump truck, for every piece of equipment we got, that we have to build up? Or do we have a piece of equipment? that's-
Yeah, we do, but you gotta understand something. One of our, grader operators had a heart problem, okay? So he's been out, and I don't know when he's coming back.
So when he's gone, you don't have anybody.
Right.
And who's there, what's this guy? The next.
Well, he's gonna get on there's always somebody that's out. There's always somebody that's not there. We don't have 100% of our people at work every day. Okay.
So is this new grade operator gonna start out 15, 16?
No, if he has a CDL, it'll start at 15, if not 13.
Well, she's got a movement, and she's getting the right as well off the bat.
No, what it is I have somebody identified that is, should be coming, that's gonna start at 15.
It's
Is it
gonna
fair?
work 1 month and then get the raise.
No,
Well,
we'll just fix that, it's no big deal. No problem.
I can't help that, is it a family member you got identified?
No, it ain't family.
Okay.
And they would be.
And as a matter of fact, talking about family members, if we got a problem, we need to redo the personnel policy and have a nepotism clause in there.
You're right, it's
It's
not
fair.
illegal, but I just asked.
Okay, very good.
So we've got a part-time now, is that right?
Yes, but we can state it. We don't have anybody.
We don't have a part-time, but we got a part-time position.
Yeah, okay. So it'd be good to fill that for now, wouldn't it? I mean,
Well, the thing is I'd rather have a full-time position available because that helps me recruit somebody versus part-time. Part-time with no benefits, no nothing, okay? I'd like to offer somebody a position with benefits, okay? And that's the thing. I can, but more recruit somebody with full benefits, okay, than I can with a part-timer in hopes of it being, turn into a full-time, so, you don't know when, okay? So, I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to ask to, upgrade a position from part-time to full-time.
And this person would be a driver?
Would have a CDL, so he can drive a truck, he can operate a backhoe and a grader. I mean, I wish it was as easy as, get out there and get on the grader. It's not that easy. Okay? I wish it was just like that, but it's not. It's an art, So,
We need to be as efficient as we can there, it's gonna be,
true. Yes, sir. Yeah,
I'll be
you're
smart
right.
with the money, I don't wanna hire somebody we don't need, but if it gets more roads graded, better roads.
Yes. And in something else is we've made a lead grader, a person that is in charge of the other graders, a lead, as well as a lead truck driver. Okay, so basically, we have a manager for the graders and a manager for the trucks, okay? Matter of fact, Frankie is the lead on the graders, okay? And then, I've got, the other guy, Roger, is on the lead on the dump truck driver. So when people come to work in the morning, we want them to know exactly what they're gonna do, all right? And then when they come in the shop, they fill up, get ready, do the PMCS on their vehicles, get ready for the next day. And we gotta develop a rhythm, okay, to do that. And, everybody knows what to do instead of coming to work, not knowing what's going on, staying around, until 45 minutes is gone and then figure out what they're gonna do. Okay, so do we have any other questions? Okay.
I like to leave like it is. Part-time.
Well, I'm asking for, I got that, okay?
I mean, we're gonna be running out of money soon, I mean, we're just about to the point where we're, spending more than we're taking in. getting close. And I just don't wanna see the county get in a position where it's not, you're gonna be in the black.
Right, I understand that, Jimmy, and I understand your concern. In fact, you know, many people feel the same way, you know, but it's evidence that we still have, you know, we're financially in really good shape, and we can easily, absorb this cost for the benefit, okay?
I'd be okay with that, if you're making that motion part-time, I can live with that. I still have concerns about the full-time, but if you're making a part-time motion, I'll second that, leave it as it is.
Well,
Make a motion.
Yeah, but I'm asking for your support on moving the part-time position to the full-time. Okay, guys, you can vote however you want to, okay? And, you know, that's how it is, okay? Thing is, you give me the resources to do my job and to make things better, and in turn, I pretty make something out of it.
Well, I just know the people in my area is paying all these taxes and paying these raises, and we're not getting much in return.
Okay, since you mentioned that, you know where we get our road revenue from?
Tax,
Which ones? Where's the road revenue come from?
He pulled that on me the other day, too.
yeah.
What's that?
I said, you pulled that same question on me. the other
It
day.
don't,
Yeah,
it don't matter, you know.
It's
Well,
not
I'm
property
saying-
taxes.
You
okay?
got 22 people on the payroll,
21.
or 21. We don't see any of them over there hardly. I mean, the graders aren't working, I mean,
Yeah, the graders are working. You know. Frankie, can you, would you like to address this?
Well, all the graders are running, that's running, and Terry's over there, he should be over in that area, but he's got to do the whole area. You don't just stay in one area, you have places you have to move.
well, you've got 7 graders, and you got 600 miles of road.
We have 8.
8 graders. I mean,
685 miles of dirt.
okay,
We have about 100 miles to each operator.
right. And 3 miles a day in a month's time is 90 miles. And sometimes you can get better than that. So you're gonna hit the 100 miles.
Area, in your area, like it says, he's got to get there in the last 30 days.
He ain't been down my road in 30 days.
Yeah, that was where he's right there at, he's, with music hall moving way back south.
We was just down Easy Call, and he ain't down Easy Call.
No, because we're from the road.
That's what I'm saying, we've got roads that ain't been touched in 2 or 3 years. And people are getting mad. We're paying all this money and doing all this stuff, and our stuff ain't getting took care of. So we either gotta hire better people, or have less people and pay more money, and get better.
Well, I think that, there's 2 perspectives. I think there's one perspective when I'm sitting in this chair,
Right.
and there's another perspective, okay? And I appreciate your perspective. And, my apologies that you don't feel like the roads are getting done in a timely fashion, okay? My bet is this: 3 years from now, I'm gonna be talking about the same stuff,
Oh, I'm sure.
you know?
It ain't gonna get
So-
any better,
You know, and the thing is
because
I'd like to get it better, and that's what everything I do, I try to improve our situation, okay? And people think that I'm an egomaniac, or I'm just, you know, self-centric and everything else. Everything I do is for the benefit of somebody else, y'all, okay? It's not for my benefit, all right? It's like a $1,200 raise. I get the least amount, percentage-wise, than anybody in the county, okay? Me and the sheriff. So, but getting back to my thing is, you know, let the road department have this full-time position, hire this man, okay, that I've got in the wings, who becomes highly recommended,
So if we add this full-time position and we don't make budget next year, you'll let this person go or you cut the parks budget?
Something's gotta give.
Something will have to be.
Okay, but guess what? We're not gonna have that problem this time next year. We're not gonna have a problem with the budget. Okay? In fact, you know, I look at, what I look at is what Barry puts out here, okay? And that is revenue forecasts, projections, the projections. In each place, right? Like county road, anticipated revenue, 2.1 million. Carryover, anticipated carryover, 570,000. Total funds, 2.6 million, right? Minus 10%. Okay, 267,000. Amount to be budgeted, $2.4 million. Okay, how much did I budget? 2.3 something.
Okay,
Okay, so well below the projection.
I had that page last year, but I don't have that this year.
Yeah.
So projections,
I handed them out, you received one, I know, but I can give you another one.
is it in the next week's file?
No, I handed it.
Well, all I have is the budget. Oh, okay. All I have are the budget things.
Okay.
So,
I'll be glad to get you, well,
okay.
you got my copy, as far as that,
page.
as far as that goes, and I can get another one. That's it.
That's anticipated.
And that's the big thing. Yeah. You know, and that's the big thing is each office, not just mine, the sheriff's department, the clerk's office, everybody, where are they at on the amount to be budgeted? And all are below the amount to be budgeted. Okay? So I'm not that concerned. Okay? You know, and, you know, the fair, you know, they had mentioned that, sales tax has increased 85% from 2000 to 2004. That's right. There's a significant thing that happened in 2000. It's not anything that the fair did or anybody else did to increase those sales tax revenues. What it was Governor Asa Hutchinson put a tax on internet sales in 2020. All of those things caused that. That was a big part of it, you know. There's some other things, you know, but that's the biggest reason for the sales tax increase. Okay, so we can move on hopefully.
We gonna make a motion?
We need to make a motion to increase
I'm
the.
for it. I just want a better accounting, and we got the, like you said, the budget. Come on, give it a shot.
We only need a motion if we're changing things.
No changing, then we're
No
good.
changes, we're good.
Okay, let's
Jimmy?
move on.
Anybody want to make a motion? If not, let's move on.
All right, go to page 40. It's motor fuel tax, okay. Number 41. Then we got 66,000 in the road flood fund. Out of the 300,000 appropriate, we still have 66,000 on that. Okay, county road, the road runner project is, yep, go ahead.
On that road fund.
Yes.
You said we got 66,000 left.
Yes.
So you're asking for 86?
No, wait a minute, I'm sorry. We got 86,000.
Okay, we're good. Yep.
Okay. Go down to, the road runner project. We should be starting that in the next couple of weeks.
What page is that?
That's,
42.
page 42. Okay, Treasurer's Automation Fund. Collector's Automation Fund. Circuit Court Automation Fund. District library. Reappraisal cost fund. Drug control fund. Jail operations and maintenance fund.
I've asked this question a hundred times. What makes this reappraisal budget so high?
Carrie can answer that.
Big carry question.
Carrie,
Oh, I'm sorry.
what makes the, reappraisal, cost so high?
Well, we have to pay per parcel,
Sorry.
so,
Have to
I
pay
mean,
per
it's,
parcel.
yeah, and that's kind of set by the state. Can't remember what the amount is now per parcel, but that's set by the state, and then, you know, we get reimbursed for that money, so. I just have to put that in the budget, and then, you know, we'll get reimbursed for a lot of that.
Nine-one-one. Okay, page, let's go to page 56, law enforcement tax. Page 58. Indigenous Criminal Defense Fund. Page 60.
That's got that travel on it, they pay half of it out of this inmate fund and the other half comes out of general that we're going to check on.
Fire protection sales tax. Hospital sales tax. Shooting sports.
Hey Karen, have y'all gotten anywhere on the shooting sports, on what's gonna happen up there?
Can't find the manager. I mean, we're ready, I mean, we've been supplementing.
No, I know that, yeah, no, I know that.
To keep the electricity on up there,
Right.
but, we can't find anybody to manage it. We proposed that they start having a shoot once a month, and we had volunteers that said they would help. But there's got to be somebody to manage it.
Yeah.
66.
And we're probably got it on here.
County Recreation Complex, page 67. Page 68. Page 69. Juvenile Court, 70. All right, and grants need and social services for disaster, $10,000, never, touched, we keep that available.
Have you come up with anything, what we're gonna do with that?
No, just whoever needs it that makes a disaster.
For some reason, I thought it was to help the ones that we had.
Nobody's requesting it.
Gotcha.
County library, nothing there, grants in general. Water. Jail sales tax bond. Hospital sales tax bond, fire department. There was one, the,
No, because we don't know how much it is. Okay? We don't know.
Seven.
Don't have to
Okay,
figure it.
Make sure that
Yeah. Good.
all we have there is just disaster relief. No, there's him.
No, non-county general. Non-county general.
I've got him on page.
What are you looking for?
At, grants and aid.
It's on page 17. In general.
I'm looking at it.
I'm not, yeah. It'll have to be different orders.
Yes.
Cause we've got 6,000.
Okay, there is one thing, and that is, we'll talk first on the, White River, planning development, the, recycling center. We provided them 4,000, and they're requesting 6,000. Okay, on an increase of
Is
2,000.
that 1163063?
One
6502.
No, it's dues, it's 01163090.
White River Planning
Yes.
Development,
Yeah.
6,000?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, part of that's RC&D, part of it's Association of Arkansas Counties. I mean, that's all lumped together, it's not just White River Planning and Development.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know that we do RC&D anymore, but I do know we do White River Planning and Development and Association of Arkansas Counties. So,